Arena was having such a hard time, like every morning. All she wanted to do was stay in bed and cover up with her blanket, bring her blanket all the way up to her chin, and just stay there and kind of whine. She was pitiful. She's an orangutan.
Okay.
She's pregnant. She was having morning sickness.
Oh, no.
Poor thing. And what do you give an orangutan who's having morning sickness? I wouldn't even know. So Cindy is one of the animal caretakers at this zoo where Arena is. And she said, you know what? Here's what helped me when I was expecting. I had this tea, this concoction that I came up with, and it made me feel so much better. So she thought, you know what? I'm going to run it by the vets. Checked it out. It was good for Arena to have. She loves it. She drinks it every day, and she feels better.
Tea helps her with the morning sickness.
Yeah, this certain kind of tea.
So Liz had 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have 3 kids, but you birthed 3 of them. What in the world do you do for morning sickness?
So I would really drink orange juice with my first one. It just set my day. I'm going to say, this is terrible. With my youngest, it was Mountain Dew. Like, I craved it. But it also settled my stomach at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I would have a fully loaded Mountain Dew, and I'd be okay.
You should hear what Scott Wipes did.
What?
Ginger ale, saltines, and Special K was her trifecta, and she kept it by the bedside table.
So I've heard...
Just kind of nibbling, to keep her stomach a little easy.
Special K?
That's the one.
Special K, something about it.
That's like a curveball. I don't get that.
Ginger ale, Special K, and what else? Orange juice?
No.
Saltine crackers.
So, okay, crackers.
Yeah.
Ginger ale and Special K.
Well, I've heard the saltine crackers. My mom did that because it soaks up like the acid that's in your tummy.
Yeah, I heard that. But the concoction of all 3 of those.
The Special K was it the one with the strawberries, or it was just this?
No, just the plain
old Special K.
Yeah.
Yeah, the remedy for morning sickness. Wow. Special K, ginger ale, and saltine.
It seems like it's different for everybody, just about. There might be some saltines, but then they, put something else with it, kind of crazy, like liver mush or something.
What helped me was Reese's peanut butter cups.
Really? That helped you with your morning sickness?
Yeah.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
One thing I didn't ask Scott about his wife's remedy for morning sickness, because it was saltine crackers. What cereal again?
Special K.
Special K.
And then don't forget the ginger ale.
And ginger ale.
That's another one.
All in a bowl, and the ginger ale, or was it separate?
No, I didn't clarify that. It was separate. A little nibble on the cracker, a little nibble on the Special K, but not necessarily together in the bowl. No.
And that's the thing. When you're expecting, and the farther along you go, you can't get as much food. And so it feels like you're just eating all the time. I would go and I would have I want to have this humongous bowl of pasta. I would eat 2 bites and be done, and then get sick in the parking lot.
Really?
Literally, I can't tell you how many times.
Wow. Okay, so here's Morgan at 800-447-7234. What was it for you?
The Little Debbie, like the chocolate cake fudge round. I remember one time, 2 in the morning, I was sobbing, begging my husband, please just go get me one.
And he went. And he got you them. And the stomach is settled by fudge rounds.
Well, and I will tell you, I've never heard of a fudge round that would help nausea like that. But you do get to the point where you sob. You just want the nausea to end.
I'm sure.
Tammy texted and said the only thing that would work for her was Sundrop.
Really?
So I'm like, I bet it was. Like, she couldn't have Mountain Dew. She couldn't have 7-Up. She couldn't have Sprite. It had to be Sundrop or it didn't work. Has to be, because that's the way. I don't get it, but that's the way it works.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I don't know when the last time was that you made a reservation to go eat somewhere.
Last night.
For real? Okay, yes. How long?
I could have gotten that night, but I wanted to make sure because a friend of mine and I are going to dinner on Thursday before show, and I just want to make sure we had a
Thursday,
space.
so that's 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, 5 days from yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't bad at all.
No. So it's very rare that my wife and I go somewhere that we have to make a reservation. I mean, that's like, once in a blue moon kind of a thing. So, and it's usually you get it that night.
Well, but you can. I know when we went on vacation the last year, my husband and I made a reservation because it was about 2 weeks wait, which I felt like, wow. That place is very, very.
Scott, on the other hand, he and his wife go out to eat all the time. They make reservations for Wendy's for how far in advance?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes weeks to make sure we get that combo that we like to order.
Corner booth for two.
There's this place in the UK. It takes reservations 4 years in advance.
I can't.
You can't make a reservation for tonight or Friday. It's 4 years from now.
How do you know what you're going to do in 4 years? I don't know where my life is going to be in 4 years.
Must be a popular place. I wouldn't. I'd just pass up on it unless somebody invited me. Say, hey, I made reservations 4 years ago, and who I invited with me is not going. You want to go? I'd probably do that.
I would forget. Even if you have it in your calendar, I feel like I would forget.
I don't know. You make reservations that far in advance. I don't know if you have to do that. There's some places that are like a year in advance. I thought that was excessive.
Yeah. I would think a month would be excessive because, again, unless you've got a large party and you're going out for a birthday or an anniversary or something like that, then I can see making, a couple of months in advance.
There's a place in New York that's a year in advance.
Nope.
I thought that was excessive. 4 years?
You get a 99-cent slice on every corner.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Getting ready for back to school, and I wonder if the whole back to school shopping also includes the first day of school clothes and the pictures that you'll take with the clothes that you buy.
Absolutely. The new kicks. What I love is the freshly cut hair or styled hair. And, everybody wants to look so just perfect when they go back that first day. And so first day pictures are huge. And I know there's a lot of schools that even went last week, which is wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Wild.
I have some cousins, kids of my wife's in Michigan that go back after Labor Day.
Yeah, it does seem like the further you go up north, the later they go back to school. But I grew up going back after Labor Day, so that it's the 1st of August tomorrow, and there's a bunch of kids already going back.
Well, teachers are getting ready, all that stuff.
Teachers have been back, at least on my feed. Teachers have been back for like 2 to 3 weeks getting their classrooms ready, doing their Amazon wish lists and all that good stuff. So the actual first day might be this week or next week.
It's something we do every year on His Radio TV, which, by the way, His Radio TV, you can download on Apple TV and Roku. Plus, the My His Radio app has it, and hisradio.com's. There's only one com. HisRadio.coms. We got many of those websites.
All those things.
All the .coms. Getting back to it, we stream all those first day of school pictures on His Radio TV, so you can always text them to us at 800-447-7234.
And I want to see what the fashions are going back to school. What are the new kicks this year? Is it the white tennis shoes still? Is it, something a little
And then
more
the sign you
colorful?
make. They're getting more creative with the first day of school signs.
Yeah, and even like if they're going to 3K or something like that, they got their little bitty sign. It's so cute.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
I don't know if you heard about this one person that worked at Lowe's, the home, what do you call it? Thank you.
Improvement center.
Where am I? I'm trying not to say Home Depot.
Oh, yeah.
While saying
Oh,
Lowe's,
yeah, right.
and that one stuck in my head. So the home improvement for Lowe's, the store, okay? So there was a person who worked there that saw somebody shoplifting and approached the shoplifter to get the stuff back.
Yeah.
And then you probably heard she lost her job because of that.
She did. She'd worked there 13 years. So she's trying to stop these people that were stealing like over $2,000 worth of stuff. So she got in the mix. Well, there's a policy at Lowe's, and it's to protect the customer, and it's also to protect the employees that says just let them have it. Like, let the police deal with it. You don't jump in.
Yeah, because she got hurt.
Yeah.
In the whole thing. Her name's Donna. She's 68 years old.
Yeah.
2 years from being 70, and she was brave enough to approach them like that. She did get hurt, lost her job because of it, but they just hired her back.
Yeah, and I think it was, they said, look at the policy. The policy is in place to protect people, but we understand that you're a very valuable employee. Been there 13 years, but just don't want you to get hurt. So I feel like they did the right thing, made the right decision at Lowe's.
To bring her back?
To bring her back.
Yeah. And I'm kind of like that too. If I see somebody, because I'm like, if I'm working somewhere, I'm all in.
Yeah.
When I volunteer somewhere like at church and the worship team and at high school ministry, I'm all in. I cannot be not all in. I'm like, I'm there. You got me. I'm here. So if I saw somebody trying to take something out of one of those places, I'd be going after them too.
I would would too. It'd be hard not to jump right in the fray.
Yeah, but you still have to be safe.
You do.
So.
And she got hurt, but she got her job back.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Give me an H. Nobody? Really?
H.
Give me an I.
Oh, my word. I.
Give me an S.
Can you just say it instead of us?
His radio. Okay, that could happen at the Olympics.
What?
Cheerleading might be added to the Olympics.
Oh, okay. Now I know where she's going.
I was trying out. Yeah.
I'm not going to spell all of his radio.
Listen, so a good friend of mine put her daughter, who's 4 or 5, in cheerleading classes last week. It's a big thing. Not just around here, but I mean all across the country, all across the world. And so the Olympics are starting to take notice. It's a billion-dollar industry.
So are they doing cheerleading or cheer?
Cheer, but it's still the same. Cheerleading is cheer.
Oh, okay.
You're just not cheerleading for like a team. It's like a competitive cheer.
Right, yeah.
So you're doing all of
You
these.
got to be really athletic to do that.
You've got to be super athletic. And I think it's been kind of looked over for the past however many decades that cheerleading's been a thing. And so they're thinking about it. It's not there yet, but they're thinking about adding it to the Olympics.
Oh, this is a thought now.
Yes.
So there's a possibility.
Yes.
Okay.
They've been meeting, they've been talking, but there's nothing official as yet. But I think it's a good move because cheerleaders, like you said, like Rob says, super athletic. It's men and women. I had a cousin that was a cheerleader for one of the universities, and I mean, big, strong muscles, you know? I mean, it takes a lot of balance.
So you're talking about a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys and girls, they're part of it. So I think, yeah, open it up.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Scott, from what I understand, and no judging, okay? But Scott evidently has a small brain.
Okay.
Apparently.
Wow.
Apparently so.
It has to do with napping.
Wow, throwing some shade this early
Well,
on
no.
Monday. Okay.
Listen. Scott does not nap. True?
No, I can't.
not snap.
I feel worse. If I take a nap during the day, I feel worse when I wake up. So I'm like,
Yes.
no, I'm not going to do that.
So evidently, because of that, Scott's brain is shrinking.
Aw, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Scott. It's all right. Liz naps all the time.
I don't ever nap. If I did, it would be a 4-hour nap.
Oh.
So we call that sleeping.
So then,
Yes, right.
So then Liz has a small brain as well.
Well, I knew that coming into this conversation.
She did. Okay, then. So they're doing some studies. They say if you take regular naps during the day, it helps in your brain from shrinking, which helps in the prevention of dementia. So it helps in cognitive and all this stuff. Evidently, when you get older, your brain shrinks. I had no idea.
Wow.
I have a really tiny brain, evidently, myself.
My entire life, my mom has taken these little 10, 15, 30-minute cat naps. So she's just been working on her brain.
Mm-hmm. That's why she's so smart.
Well, yeah. That woman is very intelligent.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Colby is 2 years old. I think he already knows what he wants to do for a living, and that is to be a mail carrier.
Yeah, he's had this obsession with mail carriers. His in particular, whose name's Mike, been obsessed with him, I guess, since birth. Like he was born saying, send me the mail or whatever. And so Colby goes out as often as possible and meets the mail carrier, like all the time. So his mom was planning a birthday party for Colby, and she did something really cool.
You should check this out. She got in hold of Mike, who's the mail carrier in the neighborhood. Mike said, I've got this covered. All of a sudden, that day on Colby's birthday was a parade of mail trucks.
And
mail trucks.
And you know what? He even probably had a few other friends that he could call that brought along some other trucks. He had police cruisers, he had fire trucks, and at the end of the parade, Mike had a very special present for Colby.
Yeah, a little mail truck of his own. And a certificate. He's a lifelong mail carrier now. I mean, this is so cool on what this community did for little Colby and how a mail carrier like Mike was like, oh, I've got his birthday covered.
Right. And I don't know if they sell these or if the United States Post Office just has some of these that you can order, but it's like a cozy coop. Like his mail carrier for Colby, the 2-year-old, is a cozy coop that's normally red on the bottom and yellow on the top.
Cozy coop.
Yeah, they call them cozy coop.
I thought they were like little tykes or
Well,
whatever.
it is, but it's
cars. It looks like a car. You go in it and you move it with your feet with a steering wheel.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
a little Tykes cozy coop. And
So
so,
they're called cozy coops.
they are called a cozy coop.
Okay.
And you have to say it that way. Cozy coop.
Whatever. But it's white and it's a mail truck for him
Right.
to
It
go
even-
through the neighborhood.
Yeah, it even has like the little emblem of the United States Post Office on the front of it. So, Colby, your birthday was done right, buddy.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you are a fan of mustard, but I think there's something for you. Like Scott. Scott is like all into mustard. Mustard is his favorite thing. He puts it on everything.
Just about. I do like mustard. Yeah.
I like mustard too.
Okay, now, if you like Skittles, you're going to like this new concoction because Skittles is mashed up with mustard now. So there is a what do you call it? Mustard Skittles or Skittles mustard?
No, mustard Skittles. Skittles flavored mustard would be
Yeah,
disgusting.
I mean,
As well.
Well, it's limited
Would
edition
be.
and it's real, and it's the French's mustard,
Well, it's the best
which is
mustard.
iconic.
Yeah.
This is iconic mustard. Mashed up with an iconic candy called Skittles, and so they're together now. It's mustard flavored Skittles. It sounds tasty.
Why? Why are we doing these things? Why are we mashing up things that don't belong in the same flavor palette at all?
Well, and it's limited edition.
Well, yeah, because nobody wants the dumb stuff. Sorry.
Wait, Liz,
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I had no idea that there was an Alan. Had no idea. It's okay. The Barbie movie's out. You've got Barbie, you have Ken, and then Ken has a buddy, and his name is Alan. But I had no idea that there was a doll, Alan.
I played with Barbies for years. Had no idea there was an Alan.
When my daughter was little, I played Barbies with her, and there was no Alan. But evidently, back in the mid-'60s, there was an Alan doll, and Alan was Ken's best friend.
Yeah, it was based on the person that came up with Barbie. It was based on her husband, and they named him Alan. So he was around in the 60s. They got rid of him, and then he came back in the 90s, but he was married to Barbie's best friend, Midge.
Wait a minute. So there's a Midge Barbie doll,
Yeah,
too?
now, I played with Midge. And then there was Skipper, which was like Barbie's niece or something like that.
I had no idea there are all these other characters. Well,
Yeah.
now, the Alan doll is a rare doll still, and it's going bonkers on eBay right now.
Yeah, but
selling for tons of money.
Yeah, but the OG, like the one from like 1964 or whatever, is selling for like $300 or $400. So if you have an original Alan, who by the way had a nice head of hair.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Hey, listen, coming up this weekend, I hope you have the My HISRadio app. If you don't, download it now. Google Play in the App Store, and I'll tell you why. It's a winning weekend, and since it's back to school time, we've got a Chromebook that you could win.
A Chromebook, those things can get a little pricey. So this is something you could win all weekend long. There's a new song from Riley Clemens that's going to be part of it. And you'll also be registered for that trip to Universal Studios for your family.
Courtesy of Southern Wesleyan University and Capitol Records for the Chromebook and the digital download of Riley Clemens and her new song, Loved by You. So all you have to do is have the My HISRadio app. Make sure you download it today. Google Play in the App Store. You'll be ready for the winning weekend, and a Chromebook could be yours.
Which is so cool. So get in on it. Download the My HISRadio app. Watch all weekend long because you're going to get notifications to win.